Welcome back to Scotty Holiday 2. My name is Scotty Holiday, and today I want to talk about the official Star Wars Jedi Survivor teaser trailer released this past Friday at Star Wars Celebration. We've pretty much known about this sequel to Jedi Fallen Order for a while now, and I am so happy that we finally have an official announcement and teaser from Star Wars and EA. If you haven't already, please consider liking the video, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. Now right off the bat, I want to let you know that I love Jedi Fallen Order. I had been slowly getting more into Star Wars content on YouTube around 2017, and many of the channels I followed were talking about rumors and speculation about the game at the same time. Other than playing parts of KOTOR at my friend's house in the past, I hadn't really gotten into gaming in general since the release of the Revenge of the Sith video game in 2005. I started gaining interest in the Fallen Order content that was coming out at the time, and this interest went even further after I saw the first trailers. I eventually stopped following the Fallen Order content leading up to its release, so I wouldn't be spoiled if I ever got to play the game. To my surprise, my ex actually got me the game for Christmas in 2019. I immediately fell in love with the story, the cast of characters, the locations, and the list goes on. I think I've played it through every difficulty at this point, and needless to say, I really love the game and have been waiting for a sequel ever since I completed my first playthrough. So now, let's get into the teaser. The teaser starts off with super eerie violence that sounds straight out of a horror movie. This is then followed up by pounding drums and a scene of marching stormtroopers. One of them looks to be carrying some kind of briefcase with the Imperial crest on it. We get a quick glance of bubbling water and some muffled audio of what sounds like someone speaking. After the EA, Respawn, and Lucasfilm Games logos, we cut to a scene inside of the Stinger Mantis that seems to have crash landed near a large canyon with no one to be seen aboard. As the camera pans toward the cockpit, we pass the glitching galaxy map, fallen wires, and sparks. It seems like the ship is then tipped back upright, which we can tell by the way the mountains and lighting change direction in the background. The Mantis is looking rough, and as the camera makes its way closer to the windshield, we can see footprints in the ground outside. During this sequence, we hear a voiceover that says, "Tell me, Cal Kestis, why lead when they won't follow?" In the next scene, we see a very sinister-looking Powin, who is confirmed not to be the Grand Inquisitor, but instead an Imperial Senator, sitting at a desk in a dark office. There's a large window behind him that shows a vast cityscape, possibly Coruscant. Two stormtroopers walk towards the desk with the same briefcase from the beginning of the teaser. Next, the teaser cuts to a scene of an aerial view of what looks like a Bacta tank. Whoever is inside seems to at least be humanoid by the appearance of an arm and long hair. After this, we see our first scene of Cal in the trailer blocking incoming fire from laser turrets. He's still wielding the lightsaber of his master Jaro Tapal that he reforged in the first game. We can see that he's repaired the hilt further since it's no longer damaged on the end as well. I'm not sure whether this scene is in a facility or a ship, but behind the turrets there's an opening to the outside. In this opening, we see a hooded figure in all black who ignites a red lightsaber. We cut to a new scene of Cal intensely attacking the mysterious person, but they're able to easily block Cal's attacks. The mystery person is able to knock Cal to the floor with one strike, and this causes him to drop his lightsaber. As the music swells, we hear the same voice from before asking, "Why fight when you can't win?" We cut back to the Powin from before as they drag their nails across the briefcase. We get a shot of their face as they look over the contents of the briefcase, and in the next shot, it's actually revealed that Cal's lightsaber is inside of it. As he looks over the lightsaber, the Powin says, "What is your next move, Jedi?" Finally, we get a reveal of what or who is inside the Bacta tank. We see the person inside is shirtless with long white hair. Their eyes are closed, but we can see that they are breathing based on the bubbles coming out of the mask. The camera turns to Cal and BD-1, and BD-1 specifically looks taken aback by the discovery. As the camera pans out, we see the tank looks to be inside an abandoned facility based on the overgrown vines and plant life around it, plus the lack of any lights outside of the Bacta tank. Obviously there is still power, but it seems like this facility was left to rot. After this, we get the reveal of the title, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and the release date of 2023. After seeing the person in the tank in the abandoned facility, I immediately thought of the Kaminoans' abandoned cloning facility on Bora Vio, seen in Season 1 of The Bad Batch. As I started to speculate who the person in the tank could be, my mind immediately went to Jorus Sabaoth and his insane clone, first mentioned in Timothy Zahn's novel Heir to the Empire from the Thrawn trilogy. Now, I have to admit, I have never read any of the Thrawn books, but I have a little bit of knowledge on them with all the rumors of adapting the stories for the Mandoverse and the canon inclusion of the Imperial cloning facility on Wayland, also in The Bad Batch Season 1. Whoever this person is, they seem much younger and also much prettier than the depiction of Jorus Sabaoth from the Thrawn trilogy. Another theory I thought of before the teaser came out is that the main antagonist for Jedi Survivor could be Starkiller from the Force Unleashed games. We know that Darth Vader is aware of Cal's existence, and I can imagine that Vader would make it a point to track Cal down after he barely escaped the Fortress Inquisitorius at the end of Fallen Order. While I still don't think Cal could beat Vader in a fight, how perfect would it be for Vader to dispatch his best Inquisitor or secret apprentice in his stead? This way, parts of the Force Unleashed and Galen Marek's story could be canonized, with Jedi Survivor acting as a spiritual successor for the Force Unleashed. I'm sure Sam Witwer would be totally down. Let me know what you think of this theory in the comments below. Now, some things I hope that Jedi Survivor improves from Fallen Order are the playtime and replayability. Even though it's rumored, I also hope we get to play as some of the other characters in the cast. Hopefully we'll get more outfit designs, and if not, just less ponchos. I loved the lightsaber customization, so I hope that continues in Jedi Survivor as well. I'm not excited though that this game is rumored for next-gen consoles only, or it may actually be confirmed at this point, but I've already accepted that I'm gonna have to get a PS5 for the KOTOR remake anyway. The tone of this teaser was very dark, and I'm excited to see how the darker themes are incorporated into the game. I love a good time jump in Star Wars, so I love that the game is set 5 years after the events of Fallen Order. I'm really excited to see the growth and changes with not only Cal, but all of the Mantis crew. So what did you think about the teaser, and what are you looking forward to in the sequel? Who do you think the person in the Bacta tank could be? Do you think we'll see any other familiar Star Wars characters from other mediums in the game? Let me know in the comments below, or hit me up on Twitter so we can chat more about it. Please like the video and subscribe to my channel for more Star Wars content, and to keep up with my latest updates, follow me on Twitter and Instagram. The links are in the description below. Thank you as always for watching, I really appreciate it, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. May the Force be with you.